Welcome back. So, after a surge in views from my last few recaps, my previous one did not continue that trend. I gotta wonder why. Maybe I did something to offend the people out there, or maybe, just maybe, I didn't talk about Sophie Cunningham enough. Alright, if that's what it'll take, fine, I'll do it one more time just for you guys. Sophie Cunningham looks like a Walmart shopper who knows her coupon expired 3 months ago, but she still wants to talk to the manager. How's that? Is that good? Alright, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the game. Seattle lost in their last 2 games before this, but they're still expected to make the playoffs in any event, no problem. The gap in games back really starts with Atlanta. They're 4 behind Washington for the number 5 spot, and though they're ahead of LA and Dallas in the standings, all 3 of them are 8.5 games out. Atlanta has the tiebreakers, at least for now. 3 Dream players are out today. That's Billings, Coffey, and AD. Naz Hillman, of course, is in her rightful place in the starting lineup. So Erica Wheeler has a chance to make a real milestone in this game. If she scores 9 points, she'll have 2,000 in her WNBA career. So to start off the game, Jewel Lloyd draws first blood almost a minute into it, a 20-foot three-pointer. Both teams' defenses are pretty solid early on. Seattle pulls ahead, they keep finding ways around Atlanta's defense, but Howard, Parker, and Hillman bring them right back. Parker is forcing openings and making her own space, which is excellent because Gabby Williams is doing the exact same thing on the other side. Naz Hillman gives the Dream their first lead late in the first. Tina Charles, however, is putting everything in. The score is 19-19 after 1 quarter. It's a tie game. Atlanta has committed only 1 turnover. Seattle has 3. Tina Charles leads all players with 9 points, but Howard and Hillman combined have 10 of their own. Parker has 4. Hayes has 3. Christy Wallace scores a quick 2 to start the second quarter, then she gets a little bit too assertive against Stephanie Talbot, gets an offensive foul out of it. Aussie on Aussie violence, it's becoming a little bit of an epidemic now, isn't it? But my biggest concern is Tina Charles, 3-pointer after 3-pointer. Halfway through the second, she leads everyone with 15 points and 6 rebounds. Only Ryan Howard is threatening to touch that with 5, but hey, I have my doubts that she will. Tina Charles is just grabbing everything coming her way and converting on most of them. At this point in the second quarter, she's 85% from the floor, and she's 3 for 4 at 3-point range. She also got her 7,000th point, making her only the 4th WNBA player to ever achieve that feat. Wheeler makes a damn near impossible layup through traffic to cool off the Storm some, but Charles once again hits a 3 right after. It's 41-34 at the half, the Storm lead. Tina Charles has almost half of her team's points. She has 20, and with her buzzer-beating rebound, she now has 10 rebounds, good for a double-double, and there's still half a game to play. Charles joins Taj McWilliams Franklin as the only WNBA players to have 20 points and 10 rebounds in a game for 5 different teams. Ryan Howard leads the Dream in points with 8, but Naz Hillman has 6 rebounds and 4 assists. The Dream have 5 turnovers, the Storm have 6, which is a far better showing than we're used to out of Atlanta. They have 4 steals versus Seattle's 2. Atlanta is not out of the picture by any means. They've been getting out of holes off and on this half. They can do it again, but containing Tina Charles is going to be the hardest part here. Scoring 10% from 3-point range and 38% from 2-point range is something the Dream really need to have discussed during halftime, and it looks like they did because right off the bat, Ryan Howard cuts the lead to 5 with a 3-pointer to start the third. Every time Atlanta scored this quarter, however, the Storm just answer right back. The 2 straight threes by Sue Bird and Brianna Stewart force a timeout by the Dream. The Storm now lead by 12. And Tina Charles is reminding us that she's not just a scoring threat. She blocks Ryan Howard a couple of times, mostly from right underneath the net. Now, with 1:40 left in the quarter, probably the scariest moment of the season for either team, Tiffany Hayes and Brianna Stewart both try to catch a ball that's in flight, and they collide each other and both hit the ground hard. It looked like a football play. The air just got sucked out of the entire building. Both players were down for some time, and I'm just terrified that someone hit their head or something. Doesn't appear to be the case, though. Stewart gets up first. Hayes takes a little bit more time, but both of them do appear okay. Hayes went to the bench, and Stewart stayed in the game, but so far it looks like all that happened is they just got a little shook up. It's such a relief to see. It looked like it would be so much worse than it could have been. Ryan Howard knocks down a 3, but Seattle is responding to everything that the Dream is doing. The Dream are having some really good looks, and they're actually doing something with them, but the Storm are just too on top of it. It's 53-63 out of 3 quarters. The Storm still lead. Tiffany Hayes is back on the floor to start the 4th quarter. Doesn't seem too phased, and that is such a relief to see. A few minutes into the quarter, she'd record a 3-pointer. and then she'd get tangled up with Ezzy Magbagor while trying to collect a rebound. Hayes has just been getting her ass kicked every game over the last several games, and she's already missed like half the season due to a knee injury. I mean, she's an absolute warrior. She comes back from everything, and I love that about her, but it's still pretty concerning that it keeps happening to begin with. Brianne January starts joining the three-point club. Seattle's bench is really starting to show that they came to play too. They have 19 points. Atlanta finally takes the lead with turnovers, unfortunately, though. They have 10 turnovers over Seattle's 9, but up until now, they've been doing pretty good at avoiding those. They keep making good plays in the paint. They're making chip shots, but that's really all they can do, and they have to do it through really dense coverage. But Ryan Howard still manages to find space for an occasional three. She cuts the Storm's lead to 6 with just a few minutes left to play. This is the time for a run. It's only 2 or 3 possessions that they need. But much like the rest of the game, they did really well, but Seattle just has an answer for everything. The final score is 82-72, Dream lose. Hey, much congratulations to Tina Charles, though. She finishes the game with 27 points and 15 rebounds. Brianna Stewart has 23 points and 10 rebounds. Ryan Howard has 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Cheyenne Parker, 12 points and 8 rebounds. Tiffany Hayes, 12 points. Naz Hillman, 14 rebounds. This is why Naz Hillman needs to start every single game. Now, collectively, Atlanta had 17 offensive rebounds and Seattle had 5. So they're good at winning the little battles. They just need to start having something to show for it. Atlanta is 11-5 in games where they allow less than 80 points, and now they are 1-11 when they surrender over 80. The next Dream game is going to be this Thursday. It looks like the Dream are finally back home hosting Sylvia Fowles and her good friends at the Minnesota Lynx. Every single game is just mattering more and more at this point in the season. This game will have heavy playoff implications. Let's see if they can pull it off. I'll see you then.